What people didn't know is Aunt B was lying to us because when she was raising the rates, machinery sales were down 5.6%, computers were down 8.7%, communication equipment sales down 21%. I took a look at our chart and I saw that institutions were pulling money out of Ford. So we said, let's short Ford. And we did that in November, on November 10th, because my charts told me there was a big sell signal, and we took advantage of it. And you know that stock Ford has now dropped 17%. That's the return my gang has now, 17%. Don't follow any of the jibber jabber from CNBC or the Fed. Follow me, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Time is the one thing that we want more of as a St. Jude parent. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
What is Phil's Gang? philsgang.com is a subscription website service that host Phil Grande has been teaching and providing daily stock investment recommendations for over 15 years, all in the name of making its customers educated investors and helping the kids at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you want to take charge of your financial future, then do not wait any longer. For only $49.95, become a Phil's Gang member today. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're hitting a new year, and you should, at the same time, come in with a new attitude, a new philosophy that you're going to make money when the stock market goes down. That's right. This is the third bubble, and you don't think it's going to crash? The first bubble did. The dot-com, the second bubble, the housing and financial con. Why do you think the third bubble, which is twice as big as the two previous bubbles, is any different? It's not different. Matter of fact, it's worse. It's going to go down faster. The stock market is going to go down 50%. You're going to lose 50% of the money you have in the stock market. You're going to lose 45% of the equity you have in your home. You're going to lose 30% of the money you have in your savings. Yes, you are. Trust me. Join my gang, Phil's Gang, so that we can show you how to benefit, how to profit. But you can't just sit there and own a stock. You got to learn how to short the market. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I'm going to tell you something about your 401k that you don't know. You know the 401k is a tax code? That's what it is. Here's how it worked. In the 80s, you had pension funds, but they decided to give their CEOs a benefit on top of the pension. It was called 401k. That was to shelter their income. That way they could keep the CEOs because it was very competitive. But when all the jobs were shipped overseas, they no longer could keep pension funds. Too expensive. So they shifted all their employees to a 401k, duping you thinking it was a good deal. But what they did is they charged hidden fees, which amount to about $250 billion a day, that they gave to lobbyists to go to Washington to make sure that this 401k would never be transparent. Here's what came of it.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
That's right. So join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. I'm here to help you. I'm tired, and you should be tired, of listening to these financial shows like CNBC where they're all geniuses and they're always wrong. Look, stop worrying about the price to book and the price to sales and all the stuff they tell you think you need to know. You don't need to know any of that. Anybody can make money in the stock market using charts. It's about money flow. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed in Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
February existing home sales down 7.1% month to month to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 5.08 million units. That is a huge miss, folks.
The textbook isn't always right, but it's always the textbook. But they have to incorporate what's going on in the real world. You know, if you look at the unemployment numbers, the CPI, people should be celebrating in the streets as opposed to, you know, making noise and political things that don't happen.
Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country off the Wall Street Radio Network. Oh, we should be in the streets celebrating with an unemployment rate of 4.9%. We should be celebrating these numbers. 4.9%? No, it's not 4.9%. It's 22%. Or at least say it's 12%. Celebrating? What are you, nuts? We have the lowest participation rate since 1955, and the lowest home ownership rate since 1967, and the lowest wages in 20 years, and we should be in the streets celebrating? What are you, nuts? And that has caused retail sales, household spending, disposable income, durable goods, all to go into a decline due to lack of good full-time jobs. We don't have enough jobs available that are good full-time jobs, good wages. We don't have that. Top-line sales revenues are plunging, causing a 10-year low in manufacturing and industrial production. What is he talking about? Celebrate. If you want to celebrate financial engineering, if you want to celebrate the stock buybacks, which, by the way, once were illegal. It was Reagan who changed that. If you want to stop the stock buybacks, and these stock buybacks should have been stopped the minute Obama got into office. Now it's a legal way to manipulate stock prices, to engineer the stock market. Wonderful for people like my gang and for those who are in the stock market, but terrible for the economy, because at the end of the day, you're going to have one hell of a bubble. You know, it's interesting. This is Monday. By tomorrow at noon, the CEOs of the S&P 500 companies are getting terribly rich off these stock buybacks, will have made what it took all year for their employees to make. Let me repeat. By tomorrow afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, by noontime, lunchtime, the CEOs of the S&P 500 companies will have made what it took all year for their employees to make. And by the way, did you know with just $20 in your pocket, you're wealthier than 75% of America? What are you, nuts? While the top 1 percentile of the people now own 50% of the world's wealth? Are you nuts? You know, it's interesting. Trump said he is going to fix our roads, and that's why the establishment, that's why the Republicans are up in arms. That's why their underwear is getting all knotted up. That's why they want to steal the convention from him, because he's going to go in and fix the roads. and he's going to fix the bridges. He said, I'd rather fix the roads and bridges than send a man to the moon. Boy, how right that is. And he's going to fix it, and that's making a lot of people upset. The number of deficient dams across the country is estimated to be more than 4,000. There's 46,000 miles of interstate highway, over half a century old. It's falling apart. It's crumbling. There's 240,000 water mains break every year. Busy airports are still relying on antiquated radar technology that's almost 50 years old. Think about that when you're sitting on the runway looking up at the tower. United States, there are over 420,000 dangerous so-called brownfields. Now, brownfields are extremely hazardous waste sites, such as chemical factories, toxic industrial facilities, gas stations, oil storage depots that have been left untreated. They've been abandoned. The EPA estimates that 1 in 4 Americans live within 3 miles of these highly contaminated sites, yet most people have no idea what a brownfield is. For 8 years, almost 8 years, none of that has been changed? Are you nuts? That's terrible. For 8 years, Obama did not fix the roads, the bridges, because we have, he says, a $3.6 trillion budget deficit. That's why he says he's not going to fix all those problems. He didn't have enough money, he said. Well, because the money that normally goes into fixing the roads and bridges and the brownfields is going to stock buybacks. All he had to do is make stock buybacks illegal. And we could have fixed all of the brownfields and our bridges and our roads and so forth. Remember, they were illegal right before Reagan took office. Meaning when you hear a CEO, and you hear CEO say they're not going to plow money back into the company, that means employees are not going to get a raise. You're not going to get a raise. The company's not going to hire new people. And we're going to be light on tax revenue for the Treasury. So when they do not plow the money back into the company, that means that our tax revenue goes down because we're not giving raises out or employing people. Instead, we have the shortfall in our budget, $3.6 trillion. For lack of tax revenue, we don't have enough people working. We got 95 million people out of work. All because of stock buybacks. The market today is up again. The S&P making, here we go again, almost new highs again because of stock buybacks. But that's wonderful for the gang and why you should subscribe to the gang, because that's what we do. We learn how to follow the money. We don't care what people say. We just follow the money. See, the only increase in tax revenue is coming from the very rich, the 1 percentile. Now, they have to pay more taxes because of the money they're making in the stock market, almost $2 trillion in the last 8 years. But they pay very little tax, not enough to fill a $3.6 trillion deficit to build our bridges and roads and so forth. They pay very little because they have all kinds of tax loopholes. So we don't have enough to plug that $3.2 trillion shortfall. But we can do it. All you have to do is plug the hole, meaning stop the stock buybacks. Think about this. Have you ever heard anyone on CNBC or any other financial network tell you that on a cumulative basis there has not been not been a dollar added to the U.S. stock market since the end of the financial crisis by retail investors and pension funds? Not $1. Let me repeat. Have you ever heard anyone on any of these financial shows ever tell you the truth, ever say to you and identify for you, on a cumulative basis, there has not been a dollar added to the U.S. stock market since the end of the financial crisis by retail investors and pension funds? Of course not. Meaning the entire 200% stock market rally that started in 2008 with quantitative easing, another big lie. That whole 200% stock market rally, All of that was due, 100% of that was due to stock buyback bubble. When you hear how CEOs of companies say, hey, they're going to do stock buyback so to return money back to the shareholders, or that they're buying their company shares, okay, back to make the company better, it's all a lie. All a lie. We'll take a look at that and also some stocks when we get back. Join my gang, Phil's Gang. 15 past the hour here on Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Do you ever notice they always tell you to buy, but they never tell you to sell? They never tell you to sell. Well, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you understand. When you buy a stock, and if all you do is buy, and you never sell short to make money where they're going down, you have to be so good. That means you got to buy the companies that are always going up. Nobody's that good. Nobody could possibly be that good. You got to make money just like you make money when you buy a stock. You got to make money when a stock goes down. That's how you even the playing field. That's how professionals make money. They make money going up and make money going down, but they don't tell you that. They just want you to try to make money going up. They don't want you to make money going down because they make that money on you. Join my gang, Phil's Gang. Learn how to short stocks at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Do you ever notice they always tell you to buy, but they never tell you to sell? They never tell you to sell. Well, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you understand. When you buy a stock, and if all you do is buy, and you never sell short to make money where they're going down, you have to be so good. That means you got to buy the companies that are always going up. Nobody's that good. Nobody could possibly be that good. You got to make money just like you make money when you buy a stock. You got to make money when a stock goes down. That's how you even the playing field. That's how professionals make money. They make money going up and make money going down, but they don't tell you that. They just want you to try to make money going up. They don't want you to make money going down because they make that money on you. Join my gang, Phil's Gang. Learn how to short stocks at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, many people left the stock market after the crash, and here's why.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
And that's still going on. That's your planner. They don't represent you. They represent themselves, your money manager. But you have to make a change. You can't change them. You make the change. Join my gang, philsgang.com, so that we can take care of you. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know we're going to have not only a stock market crash in 2016, but a housing crash in 2016. Don't you like how they tell us the housing's in recovery and the market's in recovery and the economy's in recovery when it's not? It's in a bubble. Take housing. They loaned to a Wall Street firm called Blackstone. $7 billion. They buy 41,000 houses to go rent. Are you nuts? When they can't collect the rents anymore, those houses are going on the market and going to depress the real estate business by 30 or 40%. It's the same thing with stocks. They loan people money 600% more than they ever did before to buy stocks. That's all debt. And when the market goes down, they're going to have to dump those stocks to pay back that debt. And boy, will the market drop. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. You know, everybody, the hot stocks Apple or Google, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What people don't understand is every stock is the same. If the institutions buy it, it goes up. If they don't, it goes down. It doesn't matter the name. That's why we use charts to identify money in, money out. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
We're on our best 2-year job creation streak in 20 years.
What are you, nuts? Who'd believe that? Let me tell you the truth. First of all, the 292,000 jobs we got in December 2015, And they told us the unemployment rate is 5%. Not true. You can't trust these people on Wall Street. You can't trust the press. What they don't count is, in December, for example, the 615,000 discouraged workers. A discouraged worker is a person unemployed, gave up looking for work, but this administration does not count them as unemployed when calculating the 5% unemployment rate. Instead, they classify the discouraged as marginally attached to the labor force, but they're not considered part of the labor force or part of the unemployment. That's why you can't trust what they tell you. If we back into 625,000, the real unemployment rate is 12%, not 5%. That's why you got to join my gang, where you get the truth and where we use charts. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. You're not a regular listener to Phil's Gang? What, are you nuts? Listen to Phil Grande and check out philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, remember my book. It's waltersway.org. That's right, Walter's Way, written by Walter Scheer, an incredible entrepreneur. When you read this book, you're going to be stunned. He is, an iconic man, iconic entrepreneur. The accomplishments were so iconic that Congress gave him a certificate of congressional recognition. This is an interesting book. It's uplifting. Walter is 92 years old young, and he's been kind enough to take the proceeds from this book, and he's going to share it with St. Jude and the Vera and Walter Scheer Family Foundation. You will never read another book. I'm not saying this. You know how many books you've ever heard me come out here and talk about? Very few. Very few. You could come out here every day with a new book. I don't do that. But this book is an exceptional book. You can go to my homepage, my website, philsgang.com, to get it, or go to waltersway.org. waltersway.org. Remember, this is the man. If it wasn't for him, you would not have the fax machine. That's Walter's Way. Incredible man, incredible entrepreneur. You've got to read that book. Okay, let's get to Stock Corner.
Stock Corner is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video channel. Go to philsgang.com, click on the video channel graphic, and check out Phil's free videos on the market, economy, and current events.
I can sit here, as I do almost every day, and tell you all the gains we made. You're not going to believe it. If I said to you, silver, we have an 88% gain in silver, you won't believe it. You won't believe it. Okay, and remember, when we bought silver, we didn't have to know anything about Pan American Silver. We didn't have to know anything about the company. We didn't have to know about the margins. We didn't have to know anything. Our software, the PT2 software, identified for us the buy signal. So easy. Anybody can do it. So easy. An 8th grader could do it. It's a simple buy signal. 2 buy signals you match up. You match up the color signal, and then you match up what we call a crossover. So easy. But the key is to get out, and that's where most of the fear comes. Most of you have no problem buying the stock. Where your fear comes is when, do I get out? How do I know to get out? You're so fearful of a crash happening. Crashes don't happen. They just wake up one morning and the market crashes, just like a stock. It goes through a transition. When a stock is going up, stock buybacks or not, when it has this tremendous volume or energy. Remember, a stock has 4 phases, but the biggest phase is the volume, is the energy. That has the influence on the stock price. And when you have this tremendous energy coming in, what we call between phase 2 and 3, tremendous energy, that influences the stock price. It's called pricing power. Between phase 2 and phase 3, now you get a double amount of money coming in, because you have all the professionals who sold the stock short are now buying it back, and then you got all the institutions coming in with new money. So between phase 2 and phase 3, the probability of that stock tanking is so small And we guide you all the way through it, from our coffee talk in the morning that starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, our classroom from 9:30 until 11, live, updates all day long. I mean, there's nothing like it for $49.95. Check it out. But POS, we won't worry. We're not going to worry when that stock starts coming down. We'll know when it's going to happen. It goes through, as I say, it goes through different cycles. First, the energy, which is the influence on the stock price, stops. And you can see it right on the chart. And you can see it. It's very clear. There's a signal that tells you that. And then, even before then you have to go from where, then all of a sudden the stock, once they stop buying it, it goes through its transition where it starts dropping. Now that transition from where the volume or energy stops, which is responsible for influencing the price, to where it starts turning can sometimes take 4 weeks. You just don't see a stock crash or a market. It goes through a cycle. All you need is a little help from me. That's all you need, just a little bit of help. And we have such wonderful programs. And the program that I believe that everyone should start with is our PT2 program, where you buy the S&P 500, a group of 500 stocks that's in a basket. And every day, okay, at about 1:15, we have a little class for everybody, a little update called Working Investor Group. And you just follow that, and it tells you when we're adding, when we're subtracting, when we're we hold your hand through it all. It's so easy, so wonderful. You got to do something, but never mind that fear. You're not going to have to worry about the fear. Is the market going to crash? When do I know it's going to crash? We take that fear away from you. So check it out. Go to philsgang.com. We're talking POS, but we also, remember, we started a few weeks ago on refiners. And one of the refiners that nobody wanted was TSO. And we bought that refiner on March 1. It's now March 21st. Do you know right now that we have a 13% return on a refiner that nobody wanted? This refiner dropped in stock price. It was a high this year of $118, went down to $67. $118 to $67. And then from 67, after it dropped 43%, we waited and went from 67 up to 81, and we didn't buy it yet. 67 to 81, because the signals, the buy signals weren't there yet. It didn't have enough money in there yet. We didn't see enough money coming in. Isn't that wonderful? Now, as the stock's going up from 67 up to, let's say, right there, 67 to 80, to 67 to 78, and it told us not to buy it. It told us to wait. There wasn't enough institutional buying. Then the minute the institutional buying came in and there was enough of it, it gave us the buy signal, and now the stock is up over 13%. What? There's nothing better than that. Check it out. Go to my gang, philsgang.com, and also go and look at the videos on my homepage. We'll be right back after this break.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually. You will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. There's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down? Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to what Fisher said, the former Fed governor.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish a wealth effect.
That's right. Did you hear that? They took the stock market, front-loaded it, ran it 200%, so we ended up not only with a fake stock market, but fake GDP, fake money, fake jobs, fake prices, fake everything. But we took advantage of that, and we're going to take advantage again. That's why I told my gang in May to short the market. On 5/29, that's May 29th, I'm telling you to short the stock market. And we were right, and the market went down over 11%. That's why you got to join my gang and learn how to short stocks just as much as buying them. Learn how to short with me, Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to what Fisher said, the former Fed governor.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish a wealth effect.
That's right. Did you hear that? They took the stock market, front-loaded it, ran it 200%, so we ended up not only with a fake stock market, but fake GDP, fake money, fake jobs, fake prices, fake everything. But we took advantage of that, and we're going to take advantage again. That's why I told my gang in May to short the market. On 5/29, that's May 29th, I'm telling you to short the stock market. And we were right, and the market went down over 11%. That's why you got to join my gang and learn how to short stocks just as much as buying them. Learn how to short with me, Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, it's been 7 years now since Obama ordered his Fed chairman to lower the savings rate from 5% to less than 0.25%. With the false narrative, it would spur economic growth and jobs. Everyone would have an opportunity in this economy. That's what he said. But what it spurred was a front-loading of the biggest, fake, unsustainable stock market rally of 200%. That's what it spurred. Now, most people did not participate in that rally, because people got out of their 401k in 2009. And they said, just get me out. I want nothing but fixed income. And they got killed, because with low interest rates, fixed incomes get murdered. You got to know what you're doing. If you're going to really retire, you got to be associated with the stock market. That's why you come to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video channel on youtube.com.
Buenos tardes, President Castro, to you, the Cuban government, and the Cuban people. Thank you for the welcome that you've extended to me, to my family, and to my delegation. For more than half a century, the sight of a U.S. president here in Havana would have been unimaginable. But this is a new day.
New day, really. Welcome back to Phil's Gang. That's the president. He's in Cuba, embracing communism, embracing socialism. You probably even go to the local mosque. Guy's incredible, isn't he? Just like CEOs, they're incredible. You know, when you hear CEOs of companies saying they're going to do stock buybacks so to return the money back to the shareholders, or they're purchasing back because they're undervalued, what they don't tell you is the reason they're undervalued, because their little or no earnings growth, especially going forward, or maybe they're contracting, but they make it sound like, oh, we're doing a favor for you. They're undervalued, all right. Yeah, right. They don't tell you about the earnings being a problem. See, what these CEOs are really doing is lining their own pockets, especially the CEOs of FedEx, General Motors, Schlumberger, Wells Fargo. They do more stock buybacks than any other company. 33 years ago, just before Reagan, CEOs would have been jailed for doing stock buybacks, as stock buybacks were considered by the SEC as stock manipulation. But it was Reagan who, when he became president, when the rich purchased for him the presidency, he had to, in return, pledge to make stock buybacks legal and square it with the SEC, and he did. Then it was Clinton who, when the presidency was purchased for him by the very wealthy, he pledged to them that he would make sure not only stock buybacks would remain legal, but he pledged to the rich that his presidency would make sure the stock buybacks, that CEOs could use these stock buybacks to continue to manipulate the stock prices higher, even though the company has not increased earnings or profits or top line sales or margins. He pledged it, and he got it done too. The reason the establishment is upset and why they want to steal the nomination from Trump, and I'm sure Cruz too, because for Trump, he is going to make sure the stock buybacks once again are illegal, because he knows the damage it does to this country, the damage it does to jobs. Not having a job doesn't create jobs when you do stock buybacks. Think about it. The trillions and trillions that we're spending on these stock buybacks, if that same money was invested for capital improvements, paying higher wages, R&D, training programs, to the many, many jobs we have unfilled, high-tech jobs, because we don't have people to fill them, because we don't train them, because companies have to put in training programs, but they won't do it. They'd rather the CEOs use the money to buy back their own stocks. Think of the money. Think of the jobs, of the growth we'd have in our economy if they put these trillions and trillions of dollars back into their business. It would benefit this economy tremendously. And a guy like Bernie Sanders, he would not be creating this socialist communist movement. Remember, this stock buyback is promoting Bernie Sanders' socialist movement. When you don't invest in equipment, etc., or give wage increases to those working for you, and you don't hire, that means the Treasury has a shortage of tax revenue by $3.6 trillion. Socialism is not the answer. Socialism causes poverty because it slows economic growth and progress through government waste and taxation on productive economic activity. It discourages innovation, entrepreneurship. It discourages the creation of new businesses. In addition, socialism causes poverty because it creates disincentive to work and act responsibly. Socialism causes inequality because much of the money that goes to the government ends up in the hands of the rich and the politically connected. It's easier for the wealthy individuals to avoid taxes, and it creates hundreds of hurdles, thousands of hurdles for small businesses. It's unbelievable. Socialism is a way for the rich to shut the door behind them, preventing those who are on their way up, to stop them from reaching that destination. It kills small business. See, the very wealthy, the big monopolies, they don't want competition. They want to stop like a guy like Bill Gates. They want to stop these entrepreneurs. You know, we don't need socialism. Why don't we just reduce the cruelest tax, payroll? We need to stop the cruelest tax of all, the tax on labor, the payroll tax. Think about it. 7.6% tax on the worker, 7.6% tax on the employer. That's a 15.3% in tax. Are you nuts? That's before income taxes are even extracted. You got to be nuts. That's what's needed to stop that tax, not the QE, which was nothing more than a backdoor bailout for the banksters and a way to make the rich even more rich. See, we don't need Bernie Sanders collectivism. We need more take-home pay. 95% of America's workforce make $55,000 a year. If we reduce that 15% tax to, say, 5%, that would give workers an increase of $8,900 a year to go and spend. That's a boost to our GDP of about 1.5%. We see, we don't need communism or socialism, and we certainly don't need QE. That did nothing for economic growth. What are you, nuts? Bernie's suggestion of socialism is nuts. He says it's the cure. That's ridiculous. Just as ridiculous as Obama flying off to Cuba to embrace socialism and communism. At the same time, was interesting, Trump Tower, a symbol for capitalism and freedom and entrepreneurship, was coming under siege by Sanders and his army of socialists, who was joined, by the way, I don't know if you saw it, but the New York State Communist Party was marching with the Bernie Sanders people with flags, the banner, the sickle, and the hammer. Can you believe that in this country? That's because of what's going on with stock buyback since 2008. It's killing the economy. You can't get a job because of stock buybacks. That's why they are so afraid of Trump and why they want to steal the election from him. It was at the University of Chicago where Bernie Sanders became a follower of both Frank Marshall Davis and Bill Ayers, both radical activist communists. That's where he got his communist learnings. Sanders, when he went to Chicago, and he became a member of the Communist USA Party, the Chicago chapter, in 1964. That's when he registered as a communist. This is a guy running for president of this country, all because the middle class is getting screwed. The middle class, there's no more middle class. That's the problem. I mean, Sanders, I love it, he describes himself as a democratic socialist, as if the word democratic makes his belief in socialism noble. There is nothing noble about replacing the family with the state as the central unit in society, or when government control becomes superior to individual liberty and economic freedom, robbing people of an initiative, of drive, of ambition. Are you nuts? We'll be right back. Join my gang. Become a subscriber. As this market keeps going up.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody was asking me, how did I know to short forward when it was November and it was when Aunt B was telling us everything was fine? Well, what people didn't know is Aunt B was lying to us, because when she was raising the rates, machinery sales were down 5.6%, computers were down 8.7%, communication equipment sales down 21%. I took a look at our chart and I saw that institutions were pulling money out of Ford. So we said, let's short Ford. And we did that in November, on November 10th, because my charts told me there was a big sell signal, and we took advantage of it. And you know that stock Ford has now dropped 17%. That's the return my gang has now, 17%. Don't follow any of the jibber-jabber from CNBC or the Fed. Follow me, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
AVA, and I've lost over 30K on it, but it had excellent earnings the last several quarters, and if they make the cameras and drone equipment, I don't know why it's so weak these days.
It's so weak these days because you don't pay attention to what they make. You don't care about their earnings. The problem is the institutions are pulling their money out, and that's all you need to know, and that's what we identify in the chart, and that's why I become a Phil's Gang member.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of as a single parent. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're hitting a new year, and you should, at the same time, come in with a new attitude, a new philosophy that you're going to make money when the stock market goes down. That's right. This is the third bubble, and you don't think it's going to crash? The first bubble did. The dot-com, the second bubble, the housing and financial con. Why do you think the third bubble, which is twice as big as the two previous bubbles, is any different? It's not different. Matter of fact, it's worse. It's going to go down faster. The stock market is going to go down 50%. You're going to lose 50% of the money you have in the stock market. You're going to lose 45% of the equity you have in your home. You're going to lose 30% of the money you have in your savings. Yes, you are. Trust me. Join my gang, Phil's Gang, so that we can show you how to benefit, how to profit. But you can't just sit there and own a stock. You got to learn how to short the market. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back to Phil's Gang Radio Show. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
If people blocked the road to an Obama event in 2008, what would the Democratic reaction have been to that? The way they blocked the road to the Trump event?
I think you know the answer to your question, and I'm not. And I'd like to say that
which is what? Sorry, in case people at home don't.
Which is
Oh my God, you couldn't even get it out. Welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know, I thought yesterday I was watching Stenopolis how unfair he was. All he kept saying, well, why aren't you here? Listen.
I think it's very unfair that these really, in many cases, professional, in many cases, sick protesters can put cars on a road, blocking thousands of great Americans.
That's right. And then Stenopolis.
Protesters blocked the road. So you had thousands of people that couldn't get in. Sheriff Joe, who did a fantastic job, immediately arrested 3 people, and the rally totally broke up.
But what about this violence, Mr. Trump? What more will you be doing to stop your supporters from acting out like this?
These people are very disruptive people.
But does that excuse punching and kicking a protester?
Yeah, punch him and kick him harder. Are you kidding? Don't you love this? See, these guys like Stenopolis, these guys, the establishment, they're so upset that Trump's going to come in and start changing things, especially stock buybacks. No more will we have QE. From now on, companies are going to have real earnings. CEOs are going to have to get up in the morning, go to their company, and figure out, how do I make margins? How do I get earnings so I can move my stock up? No more. Oh, I'll just buy my stock back. This is what's going on. How many times does Sinopoulos have to keep saying during this program? Aren't you going to stop your protesters? I mean, aren't you going to stop your people? What do you mean stop my people? It's the protesters that come in and start banging on my people, and my people start swinging back. Or if someone says something to me that I don't like, I'm going to swing first. What's wrong with that? You don't swing last. You know it's ultimately going to end up in a swinging contest, fist to cuff. I mean, it's like it's the fault of Trump because the protesters blocked the road. See, this is the same mentality that's in the stock market. The mentality in the market is to block you, the small investor, from doing well. It's to financially rig the market so you can't. So it's a playing field just for the elitists. And that's why I want you to subscribe to my site. I sit here, we know the game. I know what to do. I sit here and I look at the refiners. How long ago did I say buy TSO? And I begged you. I said, look, we're just starting out with the refiners. Nobody wants them. Some of these have fallen 40, 50, 60%. I said, I think TSO is going to be one of the better ones. And the stock price went from 67 up to 79. I held off, didn't buy it. Why? Because I didn't get the signal, a buy signal yet. What's a buy signal? A buy signal is a correct number of shares being purchased. It's called energy. It's called volume. Enough shares that has influence on moving the stock price up and making it sustainable. From 67 up to 79, yeah, the price went up, but it was not sustainable. Not until it got a little bit past 79, and then it kicked in. And then the buy signal kicked in, which said, hey, it's sustainable. So that means the probability of success on a scale from 1 to 10 is 9. From 67 to 79 was 3. So now it's getting the probability into your side of the net. So now TSO is up 13%. All I'm asking, I will reach out to you. And all I'm asking you to do, okay, is just look, if you're doing well, then please send money to St. Jude. And now I even have a book for you called Walter's Way that you can get. Okay, and it also, it's a wonderful book. It's a wonderful book, and you're never gonna you'll enjoy it, because go to waltersway.org and order this book. It's so inspirational. This book. It's about overcoming adversities. It's about companies. It's about how Walter was tapped by MacArthur to put Sperry, Rand, to put them together, like 80,000 employees. They did a merger. I mean, just some wonderful stories about an entrepreneur. One of this country's best entrepreneurs. Incredible. Check it out. And that money goes to St. Jude, and also goes, as I told you, to his foundation, the Vera and Walter Scheer Family Foundation. But look, I can sit here all day long on the radio and tell you the returns. Here's another one. Caterpillar. Here's the thing wonderful about Caterpillar. I told you to join the gang, so we're going to short Caterpillar. This was back in January or December. When we shorted it, it went down 21%, giving us a 21% return. Now we had the buy signal going the other way, Caterpillar. Now it's up 16%. So 21% down, 16% up. For you, the worker, the most beautiful thing is just do the working investor program. And for students that already belong to gang, you already belong to this program. So don't call and ask if I can join. You already belong to it. But all the other programs, that's the wonderful thing about what we do. We've got tremendous programs. But the working investor program, it guides you. It takes care of you. For someone who's busy, so I'm so busy I don't have time, Phil. I'd love to join your gang, but I don't have time. I just don't have time. Okay, we designed a program for you. It's called the Working Investor Program. We take the spiders, the 500 best companies, and we manage it every day. Okay, we babysit those for you. You just come to the site when you want to see if you're going to add more, take some off. It's a beautiful thing. Look, we're a teaching format. There's no question about it. The best teaching format in the country, I believe. It's my own opinion. And this is the opportunity for you to get over that fear Now, how are you going to? What if they continue with this? What if they continue with the stock buyback? I always say to my students, take like the S&P. We started out with the S&P after we went short and went down 14%. It turned around and we saw a buy signal again around just a little bit above $182. While our red line crossing our white line, so it's a confirmation. And now it's up to 80%. So in other words, what we call is phase 2 to phase 3 is where you make most of your money, where your risk on a scale from 1 to 10 goes down to a 2. Between phase 2 and phase 3 is where you make your money. There's 4 phases with a stock. It's so easy. Phase 1 is where they stop selling the stock, and everybody who sold it now start buying it. It lifts the stock up. Phase 2, the companies come in and the big guys come in and start buying. That's phase 2. You got all this money coming in. From phase 2 to phase 3, phase 2 starts, and you see it on your chart, it starts at what we call at the 32% mark. And then when it reaches 80%, that means not that the trade's over, but the easy money with the low probability of losing money. That's where it is, between phase 2 and phase 3, which means between 32% and 80%. If you want to go on beyond that, the stock's still going up, then just follow the trend. But we have the system in place so they get that fear out of the way. And then here's another thing that's most important, is to know what sectors to be in. There's 10 sectors. You don't always follow all 10. You take the most popular sectors, like the industrial sector, XLI. Give you an example. That started out in February. And it turned green. It was a buy signal at $50.91, say $51. And today it's $56. The probability of that going from 51 to 56 was about, I think that was about a 10% return, if I'm right. Now, the probability on a scale from 1 to 10, if you followed the PT2 in our classroom and we hold your hand through it, that's a 10% return. And the probability of losing money is so low because you got everything that's helping you. You know where the money's coming in. And here's the best thing. You're going to be always scared about, I don't want to lose that money. It's going to go back down. I know it is. It takes a long time for a stock to go from stage 3 to stage 4. It really does. This idea the stocks just collapse or markets just collapse, it's not how it works. It's not how it works. Okay? So look, tonight, go look at my videos. Go to philsgang.com. Join the gang. It's only $49.95, especially for people who say, I'm so busy, I don't have time for this. This is perfect for you. Call right now, 877-600-GANG, and don't forget the book, Walter's Way.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi,